Thank you very much, and thank you very much for inviting me to speak at this panel. As you rightly mentioned, this sector, that is agribusiness and agriculture, is the largest employer and half of the GDP of the continent. And as the focus is being drawn on it, and from a necessity, it becomes a growth opportunity as well. You experience and live with the difficulties of developing it, given the challenges of infrastructure in general and power in particular. Its reliability, its high cost are essentially quite impediments for the development of this sector and for it becoming more efficient to be able to respond to the needs of this continent and also the rest of the world. So what we are doing at IFC as we are ramping up our activities in this sector, which is growing really exponentially going forward, is that we are trying to, on the one hand, reduce the reliance and the use of energy that is becoming more efficient in terms of how we design projects, and on the production side, how we become more efficient in terms of irrigation, which is basically the main user of energy on the production side, and then in the processing areas to essentially build plants that are more efficient, use equipment that are less energy consuming, and essentially have warehouses and silos that are much more energy efficient. So on the one hand, we are trying to reduce the reliance and the need for energy. And on the other hand, we are trying to see how we can generate through the process of agricultural and agribusiness production ways of producing energy. All the efforts on waste to power, that is in the agricultural production side, or the use of chips in sawmills to produce energy, all the byproducts of the production processes in terms of, let's say, in the sugar production, use of bagasse for fuel. And then as we are looking at irrigation processes in hydros that are used in the value chain to see how we can generate also renewable energy in that way. And I see this development in South Africa of pushing really the renewables to this extent and creating an environment in which it can be a significant source of energy, a very welcoming development, and creating potential and possibilities to think outside the box and see how we can, with collaboration with the infrastructure sectors, to see how we can develop more renewables through the processes, and essentially making sure that what we are producing is also producing energy alongside it.
Thank you, Aida.
Doing business in Africa. You can't afford to be without Africa Investor.